We're live. How's everyone doing? There's no one on right now because this is an impromptu live stream, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why. I just noticed that today is the last day of my data on my phone, and I still have a few gigabytes of hotspot left. And I was like, hey, might as well use it up. I got an hour or so that I can go on live with, and instead of actually uploading a video today, we can just go ahead and have a little bit of fun during a live. And there is something that I want to show you all. Let me see. Whenever, if anyone comes in, let me know. Just say hello on the sides. But I'm just going to go on like if there's already an audience, okay? And then you can rewind it on the backside. Hey, there he is, Trucker Hersey. Yes, yes, we are live, an impromptu live. Right. I'll go ahead and say one more time why I decided to do a live today. And it's because I had a little bit of time to spare. I was like, hey, might as well just do a live stream instead of actually spending 4 or 5 hours on putting up a 15 or so minute video. And I still had some data left on my phone plan. And today is the last day before it recharges the data. So I'm like, hey, might as well use that data up. Right. So I do want to talk about something that's very important today. But first, I wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping, and I wanted to do an experiment live while I'm here with you all. So right now in the bunker, it's kind of chilly, right? It's kind of chilly, but you can see that back here I have my Opus Mega 3, right? And the reason I decided to do this experiment with the Opus Mega 3 live with you all here is because I saw a different channel today. I forget his name. He's an awesome channel, really nice guy. But he was checking out the Opus Mega 3, and he was running a heater off of it, a 1500 watt heater off of it. And the Mega 3 has about 3,000 watt hours of storable energy. He said it only ran like an hour. I'm like, really? So I'm like, you know what? We probably have about an hour and a half or so here, and we can figure out if that Mega 3 that's back here is actually putting out what it's supposed to be putting out. So that's one of the things I wanted to do. I wanted to do it live. So you can see that I have a little heater back here. All right. And there's nothing else connected to the Mega 3. You can see there's nothing on the side. This is where you would charge it from. And you can see I already have it on. It's at 100%. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the AC. And you can see that when I turn on the AC, it says however many hours, 76 hours, 70 hours. And this right here is the plug for this heater right here. And this heater ought to be drawing about 1,500 watts. So I figured that 1,500 watt draw, and this machine holds about 3,000 watt hours. In 1 hour, it should be about 50%. And you can see that it's at 100% right now. I have no idea what's going to happen. In the past, when I reviewed the Mega 2 and I actually did an efficiency test, it was really, really good. So we're going to go ahead and plug this in. I'm going to put it on right now. I'll show you all right now. This is my own. I'll put it on fan right now. Right now it's on fan. Okay. And I'm going to put this on high. So this is on high. We're going to go ahead and plug it in. Make sure it doesn't fall on me. And right now the fan is running. Okay. But take a look right here. It says 18 watts. All right. Let's go ahead and put it on medium. And we're up to almost 1,000 watts. Man, I hope that you can see that. Let me see something. Look at that. You can see it. 917 watts. That is awesome. Let's go ahead and put it on high. And right now we're running 1,487 watts. So roughly 1,500 watts, which means that if we check in about an hour at about 11:37 a.m. my time, in about 1 hour, this should be down around 50%, maybe 45% or so, because these machines are not 100% efficient. So it's right there. It's going to run in the background. I hope that the fan doesn't make too much noise. But remind me in about an hour to check up on it and see where it's at. Let me go ahead and actually put a timer on for 1 hour. Let's see if we can do this real quick. Boom, timer. Stopwatch. No timer. 1 hour. So there you go. We have our timers on for 1 hour. And when it goes off, it'll Ding. We'll put that right there. So that's what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and fill you in really quick, real quick. So the Mega 3 that I have right here has about 3,072 watt hours of storable energy. That heater right now is drawing about, where is it? There you go. That heater is drawing just shy of 1,500 watts. So in about an hour, it should go down. It was at 100%. In about an hour, it should go down to about 50%, 45%, depending on its efficiency. And that's what we want to test. And I figure we go ahead and test it live while you're all here with me. So there's a few other things that I want to cover. I wanted to go ahead and cover a few awesome sales that are going on, not only with OUPES, but with Hybrid Light and also with Nutrient Survival. For those of you that are in the market, right? I always get a lot of flack about this, but there's always people that are in the market and that are thankful that they got the information. And then after that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about something very important. I've got a little slideshow for you all that I think is going to hopefully wake up those of you that maybe are not in 100%, that we need to be prepared at all times. And I would say that this time in the history of our nation, that we need to be prepared the most than any other time. I would say that right now, and I believe it's true 100%. But first, let me say hello to just a few of you that are here. Thank you for joining in. I know this was 100% impromptu. For those of you that didn't hear me earlier on, I still had some data left on my plan for my hotspot on my phone, and today is the last day. So I was like, hey, might as well use that data up instead of spending 3 or 4 hours on producing a video and then editing it and all that kind of stuff to put it up. Let me just hang out with our community members, those of you that want to hang out today for a little bit. But let's say hello to Moldy Soldiers in the house. How you doing? And I always like doing a live stream like this every once in a while because it allows those of you that maybe can't join in on our regular Friday live streams to go ahead and join in. Now, I said I wasn't really going to be doing any more scheduled live streams from now until the end of the year, from our last live stream on Monday to the end of the year. But every once in a while, ladies and gentlemen, I like to do an impromptu live stream. Just go ahead and do it. And it always turns out to be a lot of fun. So let's say hello to Ghosty. How are you doing? T3 Surveying. How are you doing? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Daryl, Luke B. Paul Sargent. How are you doing? Let's see. Paul says, I bought the E1000 Jackery solar generator for $900. That's not a bad price. I still yet been able to review a Jackery because they just can't. Not that they can't. I just think that they won't bring it, ship it up here because they can ship it up here. It's just a little more cumbersome and I believe more expensive for them to do so, which is fine. It's fine. Mike Patino, how you doing? Deb Smith, how are you? F. Pierre, how you doing? Low blood pressure is in the house. Low blood pressure says, this is not financial advice, ladies and gentlemen. He says, max out all your credit cards and get silver. Hey, nice little jump that silver and gold made here. I think it was between yesterday and today. I remember stopping by the coin shop here a couple of days ago after silver and gold got hammered. Remember when gold hit $2,149, I think it was. And then it got hammered all the way down to like 1,900 and I don't know, about $50 or so, something like that. I remember talking to Jerry. I was like, Jerry, I don't think it's going to go any lower than 1930 at the very least, 1930. I said, because it's hit a double bottom and it looks like it's going to go back up. And here, I think it's about 2050 right now. So it's gone back up. But then again, ladies and gentlemen, it's not one of those things that I look at religiously every single day because gold and silver, it's just money. It's just a way of preserving your wealth. It's not a way to become rich. If you're rich and you preserve your riches with gold and silver, then yes, you're preserving your wealth of the riches that you've already gained throughout your life. But it's not something that I see that is used to become rich. It's just something that I see to be used to preserve your wealth and not allow the government to print away the value of your dollars. How you doing, Ali? Good to see you. Rakamas, Yarn Prepper is in the house. Thank you, Yarn. Good to see you. How you doing, Laura? Well, thank you. Laura says, I like the impromptu live streams. Hey, there you go. If you are all looking for meat, freeze-dried meat at half price, go check out Mountain House. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and I took advantage of that sale that they had, freeze-dried meat. If you're in the market for the best All right, and I might as well go ahead and do a little bit of admin right now in the beginning of the video. All right, it is only going to last about a minute for those of you that hate this, right? But it's a necessary thing. For those of you that are in the market for the very best freeze-dried food in the market, period, nutrient survival, ladies and gentlemen, I'm extending my offer to the end of this year. So to the last day of 2023, if you go on there, use my link, use my coupon code, and then you provide me and mail to me. Let me see, you can mail it to this address. If you mail to this address a copy, a print screen of your order to include your name, your address, your order number, and that you bought an Alaska Prepper Payday Prep Bucket, as soon as the 2024 Alaska Prepper silver coins are done, I will be mailing you one. All right. I've already had a lot of people take advantage of that. If some people just really like those silver coins, I like them too. I think they're a lot of fun. But this way, you can get something in addition to getting an awesome bucket of freeze-dried food from Nutrient Survival. It's definitely the very best that there is, ladies and gentlemen. So you email me your information over here, and I'll go ahead and send you a coin as soon as they come out early next year. But let's go ahead and get that out of there. Let's see who else is in the house. Daryl, how you doing? Let's see. Prepper Book Club, how are you doing? Silver Patriot, good to see you. And by the way, all of the winners of last week's Christmas Bash giveaway, all of the winners except for these guys, I haven't mailed these out yet. The Apocalypse pouches, I have not mailed them out yet because I'm still waiting on one more. If I don't get that one more by the end of today, I'm going to mail them out tomorrow, and then that's it. All right. But everyone's prizes have been shipped out via Amazon. So be on the lookout. I believe I emailed every one of you that won something and your stuff was shipped out. Okay. So be on the lookout for that. And I will be taking down that live stream here probably by COB today, because I can't be having someone emailing me 3 months from now saying, hey, I won back in December and I just forgot to email you. And here's my information 3 months later, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why. Right? It's already cumbersome enough to try to match everything and get everything ordered and stuff. So I do my best, but I think a week is plenty of time for somebody that wants to get a hold of me. Mass Entrainment, how are you doing? Good to see you here. Southern Mimi, how you doing? Georgetta Callis or Gallus, how are you doing? Good to see you. All the way from Romania. Well, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Old Marine is in the house all the way from Southern Oregon. Good to see you. Let's see. Skipping Rocks, how you doing? Rudy, have you watched that movie yet? The next movie is about Civil War. I haven't seen the whole movie. I've seen bits and pieces of it. And actually, that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned. Let me go ahead and finish a little bit of admin stuff here. Again, I always get flack about this, but I always get people emailing me saying, thank you very much. I didn't know about that sale. I went ahead and took advantage of it. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, for Christmas, OUPES has the Mega 3 on sale at a very good price. If you use my 5% off coupon code, which is Alaska Prepper, you can get the OUPES Mega 3, which is this one right here. It's this one right here that I got. All right, you can get that for $18.80, and that's 3,072 watt hours. You can go on the site, take a look at it. The link is in the description of this video, along with my discount code. Make sure you use that. This right here is one of the best prices of the year. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so take advantage of that if you are in the market for this. As far as OUPES goes, it's always done what it's supposed to do. It's not a real fancy machine, which I really like, but it's always been a good bang for your buck, and it's always done what it's supposed to do. In addition to the machine as well, you can hook up to 6 additional batteries to this thing. So excellent machine at an excellent price, in my opinion. Let's see, what else do we have here? I think this is, okay, the hybrid lights. These lights are awesome. All right, these are hybrid lights, and this is an essentials bundle. I came across this bundle, and I was like, man, this is a great deal. So for those of you that are looking for just basic flashlights and lanterns that are going to do the job, that will last you a very, very long time, that are very high quality at a very good price, this is the bundle. This comes with a Journey 200, which is the flashlight right there, which is just a basic flashlight that you can power with the sun. You can power via USB, and you can also charge something like a phone with it. Comes with that. It comes with the headlamp, which is really cool. This is the headlamp right here. Let me show you all. This right here is their little headlamp, which is very nice. It's very light. It comes with a clip, and it has a bi-directional head on it. Right? It comes with this. What else? And it comes with the what do you call that thing? The puck. It comes with the puck. All right. And it comes with that puck. Well, ladies and gentlemen, long story short, if you bought all of these separately, it's like 105, 106 bucks. If you use my code, which is Alaska20, you get this entire bundle for like $79. Outstanding deal, in my opinion. And of course, the link, the code, everything is in the description of the video. Okay. Let me go ahead and remove this real quick, say hello to a few more of you, and then we're going to get right to it. I will talk about this again here in a minute. Let's see where we're at. We're at 90%, ladies and gentlemen. We're at 90%, and we're about 11 minutes in. So doing good. Let me go ahead and explain to you all what I'm doing with this. This is the OUPES Mega 3. And I wanted to do a live and show you live how efficient this machine is. Now, if you're looking at a solar generator and you have an efficiency rating that's like 85% or above, that is really, really good. What does that mean, an efficiency rating of 85% or above? This is rated for about 3,072 watt hours. So if you're running something out of it and you can use, actually actively use at least 85% of that 3,072 watt hours, that is a very good efficiency rating. It means that the systems that's running the solar generator, along with the heat that's dissipating, is only losing about 15% of its total capacity, which in the solar generator world is very good. So I figured that today we would run this. As you can see, we are running a small heater off of it right here. And let me see if I can do this again so you can see. You can see that that heater is running at 1,476 watts, pretty consistently. And it's been running for about 13 minutes now, and it's used up about 11%. So once it gets to about 50%, we'll see how much time we've run that heater at 50%, and it'll give us a pretty good gauge as to how efficient this machine is. All right, so that's what we're doing with that. I wanted to do it live because it's very easy, ladies and gentlemen, to do it in a video and bring it down to like 5 or 10 minutes. But when you do it live, just like we're doing it here, you know 100% that it's all on the up and up, okay? Because sometimes people won't believe what you're showing them. Jen and Jim, how are you doing? Good to see you. Florida Man, thank you very much for the support, Florida Man. You're awesome. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. And by the way, I forgot to say Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, ladies and gentlemen. So Merry Christmas to all of you. Happy Hanukkah. We got a nice dumping of snow here the last few days. I think we got close to a foot or so, at least here where I live. So we spent a good time yesterday plowing everything. Me and the neighbor got together. My wife was out there taking care of our roads and everything. So not too bad. I can't really complain about the snow so far this year because in all honesty, it hasn't been that bad. Even the weather hasn't been that bad. And I do have a surprise in the chicken coop here. In the next couple of days, I'll put up a short video about that. I was very surprised, but I also have great news, and that is that we haven't had to buy any store-bought eggs for a while now. We are continuously, meaning every day, getting at a minimum 6 or more eggs on a daily now. So doing really good over there. Let's see. Okay, Kate Paul, how you doing? Brad Lovely, how are you? Bridgetown, Barbados in the house. How you doing, Brad? Very nice to have you here. That's one of the things that I love about having an impromptu live stream is that you never know who's going to show up and from where, because sometimes not everyone can show up during the regularly scheduled live streams. Let's see. Okay, let's see who else we have here, and then we'll start. Oh, hey, how you doing, Boone? I'm sorry that you had to sign in under a different name. Okay, well, good to see you. Thank you for joining in. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can also go to 4Jars, use my code, and get your canning supplies from their outstanding company that's based out of Florida, I do believe it is, here in the United States. Very good story behind that family. They're refugees from Ukraine who came to America, and guess what? They're living the American dream through hard work, dedication, And in my opinion, the most important thing to when someone immigrates to the United States, assimilation, right? They love America. And me, that's everything, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Okay. Oh, that reminds me, we will have a commercial here. It was working for Gray. Let me know how it works, ladies and gentlemen. I'll explain this really quick, and then we're going to get to the main topic of this live stream that I want to concentrate on today. YouTube is doing something where they are going to put commercials or ads in the middle of live streams, and we can actually allow them to do it at certain intervals. I picked every half hour, because if you allow them to do it whenever they want to, they'll do it like every 5 or 6 minutes. So I picked every half hour. So here in about another 8 minutes or so, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to say anything for about 10 or 15 seconds, or maybe 30 seconds, to let those of you that, if you would like to donate 15 to 30 seconds of your time to help out the channel, that's how you do it. Not by donating money to me or sending me money, by just letting an ad or two run through 15 or 30 seconds at a time. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. And that really goes a long way. All right. And the main reason as well why that helps the channel is because when you do that, YouTube recommends the channel and this live streams to new viewers that had never been recommended anything from the channel, as well to other viewers as well. So that really helps in many ways, more ways than just one. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll open it up to questions here in about another half hour or so. So at about 11:30 my time, Alaska time, I'll open it up to questions for about 20 or so minutes. But let's go ahead and get to what I really want to talk about here, because I think this is very important, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure that most of you that are here are probably prepared, and it doesn't matter where you live. Wherever you live in the States, in a different country, in a tropical paradise, you need to be prepared, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. Our forefathers back 100 years ago, which isn't that long ago, they lived a life of preparedness. They did not really talk about preparedness because that was their life. They knew that if they missed a harvest, that they would starve the next winter. So they knew that they had to be prepared at all times, at least enough to see them through a failed harvest until the next one could actually be planted and picked from the fields. So they lived a life of preparedness. However, technology has actually taken us away from that as society. And now when you hear the word prepping or prepper or are you prepared, is sometimes frowned upon, and it shouldn't. And that's what gives me hope when I know that parents are actually spending time with their children, teaching them about preparedness, or even letting them watch preparedness channels like this. Right? That gives me hope because it tells me that we're going to have a next generation of hardier people that understand that being prepared is essential. Right? So what I want to talk about is how all of these things that have happened in the past that, in my opinion, have not been just to we the people. And the reason I say to we the people is because there are two classes of people in this world, and it is we the people and those people that want to rule us and control us. And you all know who that is. I'm pretty sure that I don't have to sit here and tell you who those people are, ladies and gentlemen. It's those same people that take advantage of whatever crisis there is in order so that they can further their agenda. Well, they've committed, in my opinion, so many crimes against humanity in the last several years that they have only but one chance or one hope, really, in order that those crimes be forgiven. And what's that? That's to take the entire system down, to put humanity in a place where we forget, or maybe not necessarily forget, but we just don't have the time to worry about prosecuting and taking care of these people that have done us so wrong for the last several years. And I wanted to go over a short article over here that's actually talking about that movie that everyone's talking about that's on Netflix. So let's take a look at it real quick. That way we can go to questions. And this is the article right here. Right now, I don't have the link to this article up on a pinned comment. And the reason is because YouTube won't allow you to put any pinned comments up on an upcoming live stream. But if you come back to this later on in the day or so, once the video is done processing after the live stream, I'll try to remember to put it on a pinned comment. That way you can take a look at it. But here it says, no internet, no phone, no power, no food, no going back to normal. But why? Why is that, ladies and gentlemen? Well, let's take a look. Back in August of 2022, Stephen Quayle linked a video on his website titled The History of Predictive Programming in Film. Okay, now if you come to this link, you would be able to go ahead and click on these hyperlinks. All right, that way you can go and actually take a look at the video that Stephen Quayle put out. Right. And on that video, he was breaking down for us the long history of incidents where Hollywood had to put out TV shows or movies that seemed to have incredible advanced knowledge of events that had yet to occur when the show had come out. But then, coincidentally, it happened at a later date, nearly to the exact situation as seen on the show. The Simpsons, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's the first thing that comes to mind is The Simpsons. And then the new thing that comes to mind is that new movie that's been put out, Leave the World Behind. Another thing that I remember very vividly is that back in September, I believe it was September 18th of 2019, and I believe that this meeting took place, or this rehearsal, I'll call it a rehearsal, took place in the state of New York. And it was occupied by a lot of world leaders and a lot of rich people, one of them being Mr. Gates, right? And what were they rehearsing? Well, they were rehearsing what would we do in case that there was a little bug that went around the world and it got a lot of people sick. What would we do during a health crisis? That was the rehearsal. That was in September of 2019. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we all recollect what happened between January and March of 2020. It's something that happened, a crisis that happened that has shaped the world into something that, in my opinion, we the people don't want, but is being pushed on us by those that want to control us. However, I digress. A new Netflix movie titled Leave the World Behind forecasts a massive future cyber attack upon America that takes down not only the United States government, but most of the country. And ladies and gentlemen, do you all remember the rehearsal that they had last year as well? It was called Cyber Polygon. Same thing as the rehearsal that they had in September of 2019 for the health crisis. But this one was predicting a cyber attack as well, and a rehearsal as to what would they do. How would they continue to run government? You understand this? Everything that government does, ladies and gentlemen, is for the continuation of government. All right, the government is doing things for the continuation of government when it comes to these issues. It's not for you. Trust me, at least the United States government, I'm pretty sure, pretty certain, is not spending trillions and trillions of dollars to build bunkers just in case we need them as a citizenry. I'm sure that they've spent trillions of dollars in the past to build bunkers, but only for the continuation of government itself. So prepare and stay prepared, ladies and gentlemen, because if you are prepared when these things start to occur, you're going to be much better off. Let me go ahead and take a break here for a second, then we'll come right back to it. I believe that everyone in the United States of America, not only that, but throughout the world, but I'll talk about the US because this is my country, we should all be able to stay at home for 3 months. If right now we could not leave our homes, can you survive for a week without going anywhere? And if you can, that's awesome, because you're better off than most people, because most people in the US only have about 3 days worth of food in their house. But can you survive for 2 weeks or a month or 2 or 3? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. And if you cannot, then you have to figure out what you need to do in order to prepare to be able to stay home for, I would say, 3 months. And that may seem a little drastic, but think about it. Let's say something happens like happened, I believe it was back in 1918, where they had that health crisis that spanned throughout the world. That, in my opinion, was a real health crisis because a lot of people lost their lives. A lot of people, as a percentage of the world, lost their lives. Well, let's say something like that were to happen today. Can you stay home for 3 months until this thing burns itself out? Right? That's the question. I mean, 3 months seems to be like the sweet spot, but I would say the more, the better. For example, right now, if I couldn't leave my house right now, and I can actually say this because I just finished filling up our water tanks. I had to do a water run to go ahead and make sure that we were topped off, right? So right now, if we could not leave our home for 6 months, it would be kind of boring only seeing my wife and my daughter for 6 months, but we would survive because we had everything that we needed in order to survive those 6 months without having to go and get something somewhere. Yes, even water, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the question you have to ask yourselves. Okay. So I think that maybe now, let me know if we got a commercial. There you go. Okay, let me go ahead and keep my mouth shut for about 15-30 seconds. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that we are drawing 1475 watts pretty much on the dot continuously. Okay. And it's been on for about 27 minutes. So I've been drawing 75 watts pretty much continuous for the last 27 minutes. And right now we are at 76%. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good. Okay, we're at 76%, which means that we've used about 1/4 of the energy in that opus. So let's do a little math. So we've used about 1/4 or 25%, let's say, of 3072 watts. So if I take my calculator, 3072, let's multiply it by times 0.25. So far in a half an hour, we've used about 768 watts. So now let's take this wattage right here, 1475. Okay, let's take 1475 and divide that by half, because 1475 is how many watts it would use in 1 hour. So if we divide that by half, which is about half an hour that we've been using it, by 2, that comes out to 737 watts. That's not bad at all right, because it's just shy of the 25% of the entire battery. So we'll see what happens when we're at an hour. It should give us a pretty good number to look at once we're at an hour. Pretty awesome. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and continue here. Okay. So continuing on, it says here that one commentator on X, formerly known as Twitter. I wonder how long we're going to continue to say that. X, formerly known as Twitter. All right, it's almost like a Prince, the actor formerly, or the performer formerly known as Prince, right? Reported that the movie, it is one of the most blatant examples of predictive programming, the cabal and symbioology I've ever seen, they say. And there's just comments on Twitter/X. Another commenter on X said they even go as far to casually mention that the cabal and the evil plans for the world, to mention the cabal and evil plans for the world. So I haven't seen this movie yet, but do they do that? Anyone watched that and said, have they done that? Have they been so blatant as to say, hey, this is what we're doing, and pretty much laughing in your face, right? So let me go ahead and bring this up real quick. Okay. And then it says, with the movie definitely not giving viewers a happy ending or even any real kind of ending at all, we propose this of that non-conclusion. Now listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, because this makes a lot of sense. That is exactly what the globalists wanted, to pretty much give you an ending that wasn't really an ending, right? That it was open-ended. Because as the ending of this movie shows, they realize that should a countrywide cyber attack occur that takes down the grid, all communications, and specifically the internet, they'll never be held accountable for their war crimes against we the people. I can't say some of the words. So if we have an attack, or if we have a crisis that is so large that when systems come back up, we won't really care because we'll just be happy that the systems are back up. And all of the crimes that the cabal, that our rulers, whom think they are rulers, have committed against humanity, they'll be forgotten, ladies and gentlemen. That is the plan, in my opinion. It continues to say they will burn it all down before we ever have the chance to bring them to justice. I remember mentioning something like this on a previous video about the Federal Reserve, which is one of those institutions that, in my opinion, has committed crimes against humanity, ladies and gentlemen. It is because of central banks that people around the world starve, believe it or not, in my opinion. And a future America featuring no internet, no phones, and no going back to normal, as seen in Leave the World Behind, would certainly fit that bill. What bill would that fit? It will fit the bill that the people that have done all of these atrocities to humanity in the last several years or several decades will not come to account, will not have to account for their misdeeds. So what can you do about this? What can I do about this on a personal basis? Well, I'm doing something right now. I'm screaming about it, sharing my thoughts about it. And hopefully people that haven't heard this opinion maybe hear it and maybe do a little bit of their own research. And they come to the conclusion that there's really not too much that you can do about anything that's going to happen on a personal basis. All right. We as a country, in my opinion, are so divided that we are not going to come together with one solution as to how to handle this. All right. We won't come together. We're too divided. The cabal, they've done such a great job at keeping us divided and dividing us even further that on a personal basis, there's nothing we can do about it. And we're too divided to get together to do something about it as a nation of citizens. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So best thing that you can do for yourselves, for your community, or for yourselves, for your families, for your community, for your state, and for your country is to be as prepared as you possibly can be. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I was watching a show today where it showed a lot of criminals pretty much saying how everything that's going on is not their fault, that is someone else's fault. They blame, I'll say it outright. They blame this guy Trump. They blame him for everything. They even blame him for the things that they're doing, ladies and gentlemen. These people don't care about you. And it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're in. You shouldn't be on any side of that fence. You shouldn't be on the right or the left. You should be on the side of humanity, on the side of America, on the side of your country. If you live in a different country than America, the United States of America, that's the side that you should be on. Because one thing that government has proven time and time again is that they'll do nothing but take from you and only give you when they want to and when it benefits them. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to show you a few of the things that are plaguing our nation right now. And in about another 15 minutes or so, we'll go ahead and I'll start doing some Q&A, okay, going back and forth. Let me go ahead and say thank you again to everyone. Let me see. Thank you again to all of you that are joining in, ladies and gentlemen. There's always a lot of fun having an impromptu live stream. How you doing, Kanzi? Good to see you. Never Look Back. How you doing? Good to see you. DPFX, how are you doing? Dingus Chubb, how are you doing? Bradley Love is in the house. Dan Geary, Evil Girl is in the house. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah to all of you. Let's go ahead and show you some of the things, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm showing you here is to encourage you to do your own research, number one, to get prepared, number two, and to just show you how it is that government is never the solution. All right? Government is not the solution, ladies and gentlemen. Government has turned itself into a plague. Is what it has turned itself into. I'm sure that one day, hopefully that day will never come. Hopefully we will never have a tyrannical government where it actually puts into practice what they've been wanting to put into practice for a long time. Thank God for the Second Amendment, all right? Because I think I'd probably be in big trouble. My mouth is way too big. But let's take a quick look at this real quick. I wanted to show you some of this. And this is our country. This is the United States of America. It's supposed to be the richest country in the world, ladies and gentlemen. I think not. 1 out of every 5 U.S. children does not have enough food to eat as the global food crisis intensifies. But why is that? Why do our children not have enough food to eat when we can send hundreds of billions of dollars overseas to protect other people's borders? Why not? When we can go ahead and just let millions and millions of people into our nation that have not come in through the front door, but through the back door in an unlawful manner, and give them checks every month, somewhere to live, give them money for food, give them free education, free health care. At whose expense? You know at whose expense all of that stuff is, ladies and gentlemen? Right here. It's at the expense of our children. It's at the expense of our veterans. It's at the expense of our elderly, whose purchasing power has been stripped away from their Social Security. Yeah, you'll get a Social Security check, all right. But for those of you that are on Social Security right now, please say yes or no to this question. If you're on Social Security and you don't mind sharing, is your Social Security check keeping up with inflation? Is your Social Security check keeping up with the inflation, the prices of things? Are you able to buy the same thing today with your SS check than you were 5 years ago or when you started collecting Social Security? Go ahead and put yes or no. All right, if you're collecting Social Security and you don't mind sharing, because I will be very surprised to see a yes on here. That is the expense, ladies and gentlemen, that we're going through to secure other countries' borders and to let people into the country that shouldn't be here by law, right? We're allowing our children to starve. We're allowing our elderly to starve, to go without. Can you just imagine that? How disgraceful is that? How disgraceful is it to walk into Walmart and see an 80-year-old there saying, hello, how are you? Not because they want to, but because they have to. These are the people that built this nation. Our elderly are 80 years old, 90 years old, are the people that literally built this nation. And that's what they got to look forward to. It's disgraceful, ladies and gentlemen. But what's more disgraceful is that it doesn't have to happen. What's more disgraceful is that we have people sitting in the top who are supposed to represent us, right? Who eat very well every single day and whose policies never affect them, but always affect the citizenry or the constituents that they're supposed to be fighting for. There's going to be a great collapse because this system cannot continue. And that's what I just talked about when I read that article for you, is that there is going to be a great collapse. And it's in hopes that we forget the grievances that we have toward the people that have put us in the predicament that we find ourselves in today. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, a country that's in shambles, a country that used to be respected around the world and that no longer is. What else do I have here? I don't even remember the things that I thought about. Okay, IBM is slapped with a federal civil rights complaint after racist CEO, obviously illegal, hiring practices. So I saw a video on this, and this is the CEO of IBM. That's why I said stay away from these companies. A lot of people complain at me when I say, hey, switch with AP. Go check the link down there, switch with AP. You're going to get white glove treatment where they're going to go ahead and show you through the site, which is an American company where everything that they sell is 99% of everything they sell is made in America. The other 1% is made in Canada, right? They sell everything that is made in America, and it's an American company by an American family. The money stays in America. They don't do ESG, right? They do not do the ESG UN crap, ladies and gentlemen, because these people, like this guy right here, he does not care about this country. He does not care about the people that have made his company great. All he cares about is about satisfying his rulers. And that's it. He could give a crap about you, your children. He could give a crap about your children's children. All he cares is, how am I going to satisfy my ruler? That's what he cares about. Incredible. Let's see. Well, I guess you can read this one for yourselves. It says heart failures spiked 1,000%, according to the Pentagon, back in 2022, I'll let you decide why you think that happened. Another one, I'll let you decide why. Why is Moderna hiring FBI, right? Why are they hiring ex-FBI? What do they have to hide? Why don't they want to allow freedom of speech so that we can speak freely about these things that not only are affecting us right now, but that will affect us for years to come? I hate saying this, but I believe it 100%. That juicy juice that was introduced into humanity a few years back, we haven't even begun to see the bad effects of that. All right, we haven't even begun, ladies and gentlemen. There will come a time, and this is one of the reasons why the rulers have to collapse everything, because there will come a time where there are going to be so many people leaving this earth in a physical form, meaning that they're no longer going to be here, that we're not going to be able to say, oh, no, nothing's happening. They're not going to be able to cover it up anymore. That's what I'm saying. The news is not going to be able to cover it up. It's going to be in your face, ladies and gentlemen. Pfizer is facing multiple lawsuits. I don't know what for. Go ahead and read it for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. And again, record-setting 12,000 illegal aliens entered the U.S. in one day on December 5th, and tens of thousands more are likely on their way. I already know that this live stream is going to be demonetized, okay? But it is what it is. As long as they don't kick me off YouTube, I don't think I've done anything wrong that breaks any community guidelines. As long as they don't kick me off, I'll take the demonetization, no problem. But ladies and gentlemen, everything that I went through right there on that very short examination of the things that are going on within our country, very, very small, a very small sample amount of the things that are going on that are negative in our nation. Do you really think that we have a government that's going to look after you when it all hits the fan? Right? First of all, it's going to hit the fan eventually. And you know what? I was thinking earlier today, man, I need to find something good to talk about, something happy. But ladies and gentlemen, the thing is that if we want to ignore reality, it's going to pass us by. If we want to ignore the elephant in the room, that a lot of people are going to lose their lives in the next few years. So many that we won't be able to say, oh, what's going on? You know, it won't be able to get covered up. If we can't look at that in the face and prepare for a life like that in the next few years, then it is you and your family that's going to suffer, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that even the very best prepared people in the world are going to do a certain amount of suffering. But imagine those that are not, right, ladies and gentlemen? So let's take a look and see. We are at 16 minutes. So we've had that machine running for roughly 44 minutes, roughly. Excuse me. Let me take a drink real quick. Oh, and by the way, I see all the no. I see all of the no that everyone's leaving behind here saying there's no way that that Social Security is keeping up with inflation. I see one yes. Excellent. Let us know. Let us know how well. Let us know. Let us know if you're skimping. Okay, there's one yes here, A Hobbit. A Hobbit, let us know how you're doing it. Give us a little trick. How are you doing it? Right? That way, maybe people can benefit. Are you couponing? Are you doing a side hustle? Are you just getting less quality items? Let us know. Are you living with someone, sharing a house, sharing something like that? Let us know. That's all. I'm glad that it is, if it is. Let's see. Incredible. All right, that's the only yes I saw. I'm very surprised that I even saw one yes. Oh no, someone's angry at me. Dingus Shove asks, "What kind of American are you?" Well, I'm Dominican American. I was born in Dominican Republic. I immigrated to the United States of America here on August of 1974, and I was naturalized an American citizen. I believe it was in the late 90s after I got out of the Navy, my first military stint. So Okay. I'm looking. All right. Well, let's take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that just got here or got here after I mentioned this, I have this Opus. This is the Mega 3, and I have my heater hooked up to it on high, which should be drawing about 1475 watts. Let's see. Oh, okay. Can you see it? 1474, 1475 watts. And it's been running at that wattage for about 45 minutes. I have it set for 1 hour. So in about another 14 minutes, we'll turn this off and we will see at what percentage our Opus is in. Because if it's using, it's at 65% right now, or 60, no, sorry, it's at 59% right now. Sorry about that. Right? Because if it's using roughly 1500 watts an hour, this Opus Mega 3 has 3072 watt hours. So we're going to see at what percentage it is at 1 hour, because at 1 hour it should have used roughly half of the battery. Okay. And then we'll see how efficient that Mega 3 is. I saw a video earlier today, and I forget the guy's name. He's a really, really good guy. I forget his name. uh, Janasa or something like that. Jasana. I forget the name of the guy. He's a really, really good guy. I've been following him for a while. I just never remember the name. And he actually did the same test with the Mega 3. He didn't do it live like I'm doing it right now, but he said that it only lasted about an hour at 1500 watts. And I'm like, wait a minute. That Mega 3 ought to last like 2 hours at 1500 watts. So I figure that if at 1500 watts, and for those that are maybe skeptical, you can just rewind on the live stream and you'll see that when I turned this on for the first time, it was at 100%. And you can see that I've had it on high the whole time. So I'm like, at 1500 watts an hour, that should still have about 50% of a charge. It shouldn't be discharged completely after 1 hour. So right now we only have about 12 and a half minutes before that's been running for 1 hour at 1475 watts, which is close enough. And then we'll be able to see how efficient this machine really is. One of the things that I like about Opus is that, in my opinion, they're pretty efficient. Anything that's above 85% in the solar generator world, in my opinion, is pretty efficient. And right now, for those of you that didn't catch it, if you're in the market for a Mega 3, they have them at a great price. I think it's like $1,880 after you use my discount. So if you're in the market for that, go check it out because that's a great price. And I also have my coupon code under the description of this video if you want to use it. Yes, that's the name. Janusa, something like that. I forget the name. No, it's Janasa, right? That's it. Janasa. He's a really good guy, man. I've been following him for a long time. Really, really good person. So let's see. Hey, Catherine, how you doing? Good to see you. By the way, your prize is on its way, Catherine. I think you should have gotten that email. All right. And yeah, I don't mind doing this. If you all want me to do little experiments like this, like with the Opus solar generator, because it is my favorite brand, all right, during live streams, let me know. I have no problem doing that. One of the things that I want to do with one of the Opus solar generators is I won't do it with one of mine that they sent me so that I can keep. But if Opus wants to send me, like, let's say an Opus 600 or an Opus 1200, I would like to leave it outside, like in my shed, leave it outside over the entire winter, where it hits -20, -30 degrees with a fully charged battery. And then after winter's over, I would like to go ahead and see, first of all, if it'll even start after all of that negative temperature. And if it does start, to see what the battery's capacity is at. That would be a pretty awesome experiment. I'm going to go ahead and email my contact, see if she'll send me another one. At least like an Opus 600, the smallest one. Because I love my Opus solar generators, and I don't want to take a chance to ruin them by doing something that they're not meant to do. An Opus solar generator is not meant to sit outside and work at -30 degrees, ladies and gentlemen, all right? All right, listen, if you have any questions, if you have any comments that you want to share with the community, put it all in caps so that I can catch it. In about 10 minutes, we're going to go ahead and check our Opus, see where it's at. And then in about 25 minutes, I'm going to have to close it down because I have an appointment here in about 1 hour. I have an appointment in town. Okay, so any questions, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and put it up in all caps so that I can catch it. And then we'll go ahead and just hang out for the next half hour or so. And look at there. Not there. How you doing, brother? Hey, happy Hanukkah, man. I'm really glad that you're on the live. Really glad that you're on the live. Ladies and gentlemen, really quick, go follow Goshen Prepping. He's got an awesome channel. All right, an awesome channel. I would say better than mine as far as his commentary goes. I don't think he has to edit his videos very much like I do because I'm always messing stuff up. But that's one of the things I was talking about earlier, how we are so divided in this nation. All right, and if you remember a few videos back, I made a comment that someone had been telling me that Goshen Prepper Eric was making bad comments about me, and I finally had to say something because I had gotten so many messages. This is what I believe happened. I believe that people that really don't like him for whatever reason were trying to attack him through other YouTube channels. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we have to put a stop to. We have to come together as a community, right? We have to come together as a nation if we are going to survive as a, excuse me, if we are going to survive as a nation. How do you survive as a community if you're together? Have you watched not watched, have you listened to or read that book, 1 Second After? That community, all right, they made it because they stuck together. And that's how we're going to make it. Not only as a community, but not only as a nation, but as humanity. We have to stick together, all right? So anyways, Italian Eddie is in the house. How you doing, Italian Eddie? Good to see you, my friend. Mario says, can you share the email I just sent you 20 minutes ago? I'm not sure that I can, because if I do, it's going to mess up the internet. But Mario, what email address did you send it to? I'll try, but I just hope it doesn't mess up the live. Grinch, I think I saw something about Amsoil. I think I saw something about it, but I haven't really opened any emails. During the holidays, I don't look at too many emails, ladies and gentlemen, unless I have a giveaway. Right? I do try to keep some time off during the holidays, more so than what I normally do. To just do whatever I want to do and spend time with the family. Let me see here, because I think I got a message from someone. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. It might be very important. Okay. Okay. I am hoping I'm not going to be able to look for that. I just ran out of data. Remember that earlier I told you that I still have some data for my hotspot left, and that's why I decided to have a live. If you were here earlier, I just got a text from Verizon saying, hey, your data has reached its limit, so now you're going to be going back down to lower speeds. I'm hoping that I can stay. You know what? I can probably try to switch, but it'll mess things up. Captain Silva, great question. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm still coming in okay, now that I know that my hotspot is not as good as it should be. But Captain Silva, at what price would you pause on buying silver? I will pause at buying silver probably once it's 3 digits, because I think it's going to go a lot higher than that in my lifetime. And I purchase silver as a way to preserve my wealth. But I like to dollar cost average. And that's the thing. When you dollar cost average is exactly what it is. It's just an average of everything that you've purchased. But I guess that a good rule of thumbs for someone that wants to pause buying silver at a certain price, I would say that I would pause buying it at the price that maybe at about 2/3 of the price that you would be selling it at. So let's say that I've always told myself, man, if silver hits $100, I'm selling. I would probably stop buying at like 70, 75. I hope that makes sense, right? Because after the premium and everything, you're probably still going to be 20% up if you end up selling silver that you bought at 70, 75. Let's see if that makes sense. Oh, you got your Ultra Mega Prepper. You already got your flashlight. I told you those flashlights are awesome, didn't I? Hey, how you doing, Steve? Thank you very much, Steve, for the super chat. Blessings to you as well. Let me see. Darren Wheats asks, I want to bring my building company to Fairbanks next summer. Any advice? Well, I'm not a professional builder by any means, but I do know that there is a very big need for builders here that are competent. A competent builder here, ladies and gentlemen, I believe has no problem as far as they're honest, fair, They have a good price, and more importantly, a very good product. So, I mean, I don't see you having any problems making a living being a builder here. You'll probably have way too much work. Let me bring it all the way down. I'm still coming in 5x5. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Yes, DPFX, I believe you. I believe that lithium is going to explode in price. All right. I own a very small amount of stocks, very small amount in some mining companies, not a lot at all. Okay. But the reason I own a very small amount is because I think that I may be able to profit from that. And then, of course, what am I going to do with the profit of those mining stocks? If they go high, I'm going to do the same thing I did with my Bitcoin a couple of years back. I sold it and I bought silver. All right. Because I believe silver is real money. Not that I believe, it is real money. Let's see. We are at 3 minutes. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see where we're at. Hey, not too bad. We are at 50%. That's not too bad. That means that so far that battery has exhausted 1,536 watt hours. 1,536 watt hours so far that battery has exhausted. Once we're done in another 3 minutes, it'll be 1 hour exact. We are going to figure out exactly how many watt hours we used from that OUPES Mega 3 running our heater for 1 hour. We'll know exactly how much. I'm kind of excited because I think it's going to be a very good and efficient number. Oh, we got another ad. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for putting up with the ad. I only set it for every 30 minutes. Okay, and again, the main reason for that is that YouTube will share this live stream with more people if we let those in for at least every 30 minutes, like I set it up. All right, and a way that you can help the algorithm also, ladies and gentlemen, share this live stream is I don't ask for this very often, but go ahead and put a like on the live stream if you want to, and or a dislike. You can put a dislike if you want to also. And also something that would really help is after the live stream is over, come back later on in a few hours and check out the pinned comment. All right, check out the pinned comment because I'm going to leave the link for the OUPES, the Mega 3 that's on sale right now through Christmas. I'm going to leave the link for the bundle for the flashlights, the hybrid lights, and I'll also leave a link to Nutrient Survival. If you buy an AP bucket of Nutrient Survival freeze-dried food between now and the end of the year, and you email me to onewinnerwinnerchickendinner2@gmail.com, if you email me, I'll send you an Alaska Prepper Silver Coin 2024 edition. I'll leave that on there, but you come back, leave a comment. If you leave a comment, that helps as well. Let's see. Am I still coming in? Okay. Am I still coming in all right, ladies and gentlemen? Give me a 1 if I'm coming in okay. I just want to make sure. Let's see. Looking for a few questions. Okay, I'm 5x5. Excellent. Thank you. All right. Excellent. Thank you very much. Let's see. LT asks, in an emergency, what battery do you recommend charging an inverter? So you're saying that you have an inverter, and what battery would I recommend? So believe it or not, I would not recommend a lithium iron phosphate battery or a lithium ion. What I would recommend more is if you I'm thinking about someone that doesn't have a solar generator and someone that has a solar panel and wants just to get a battery to have that is going to last them a long time and that they can use in an emergency. All right. So that's how I'm thinking. Okay. And hopefully you have a charge controller and a solar panel. I'll be doing a short video of that later on this summer or after the winter's over, to actually do our own little mini system. But anyways, I would recommend an AGM battery, which is not a lithium battery, but one that only has about between 500 to 1,000 life cycles. And the reason is because right here you said for an emergency, which means you're not going to be using it every day, all right? Which means that the 500 to 1,000 life cycles is not really going to hurt you because you're not going to be using it every day. But an AGM battery, ladies and gentlemen, can actually, All right, our hour is over. Okay. I just had to restart it. The hour is over, but we can wait another second or two. An AGM battery can be used indoors, can be used outdoors, but it can be used outdoors up to like negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, so an AGM battery can take a lot of abuse and still do its job. So I would go with a good AGM battery. 100 amp or so should give you about 1800 or so watt hours after you take away the 10% or maybe 15% that you don't want to drain it down below so you can keep it healthy, something like that. All right, so now let's go ahead and see what we got as far as I'm getting on my calculator. Let's see what we got out as far as wattage. I want to show you that it's still consuming. Can you see it? You can see that it's still taking in 1474 watts. And it's taking in 1474 watts for about 61 minutes. We're going to call it an hour. We're going to go ahead and turn this off. Oh, it's nice and warm too. Okay. And you can see that as soon as I turn that off, let me show you all from here. You can see that it's off. And you can see that it's 46%, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I wish that I had something here to show you all, when I do the calculation, but I can tell you that this Mega 3 has 3,072 watt hours, okay? So 3,072, I'm going to show you step by step. 3,072 divided by well, what is it? Let's go ahead and divide 3,072 by 100. So that's how many watt hours, all right, there is per 1%. So for every 1%, there should be about 30.72 watt hours. And now we can see that we used up 54%. Okay, 54% in 1 hour. It was actually a little less than 54 because we went about a minute and a half, 2 minutes over, but that's okay. But let's say 54% in 1 hour. So let's go ahead and multiply that times 54. Just a second. Sorry, 30.72 times 54. There you go, right? And it's a total of 1,658 watt hours. Okay, so that means that our heater that was running at 1475 for an hour. Just a second. Hello? Yeah, I'm right in the back end of the live stream. Actually, if you watch your screen, you can see me talking to you right now. Yeah. Okay. I'll call you in a little bit. All right. All right, bye. Okay. That was my wife. That was Mrs. Alaska Prepper, ladies and gentlemen. So we used up 1658, right? But this right here was only using 1475 for an hour. So how do we find out how efficient this was? So what we'll do is we're going to take, remember 1658, we're going to take 1475, okay? And we're going to divide it by 1658, which equals 8.8% times 100. There you go. 89% efficient. That is very good, ladies and gentlemen. 89% efficiency rating on a solar generator is very, very good. Okay. And it's actually, I would say that it was closer to 90% than 89 because we ran it a little bit more than that 1 hour and we only calculated an hour. Okay. So again, I think that this is a great solar generator and it gives you exactly what it tells you that it's going to give you. It does everything that it says it's going to do, plus is at a great price. That's one of the reasons why I really like OUPES, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Okay. Everyone's here telling me how to do it. I think that I did the math right. I think that I did the math correctly, okay? Oops says that my wife wants me in the motorcycle sidecar. I don't think we're going to be riding that motorcycle this winter. No, and I don't think so, Annette, and I wouldn't. You just don't need to. Is there any way to connect the EcoFlow Pro with one of these OUPES? I honestly don't know. There are some things that I could probably do in order to connect two together. Like, let's say if I was looking for 240, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Let's see. Okay. So did that make sense to you? What I went over here? Let me turn this off. Let me see. The AC's off. There you go. It's off. And that's another thing that I like. It's just buttons, ladies and gentlemen. The Opus Mega 3, the Mega 2, the Mega 5, they all come with an app that you can connect to it. I just don't like apps. I rather just push buttons. That's what I would rather do. But let me know if that makes sense, the math that I did. So that came out to be about 90%, I would say, efficient. Okay. Yes, hey, Redneck Prepper, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Yes, AGM batteries are good batteries. They've been tested throughout time. They're good batteries. Oh, that's funny. Laura asked, "What do I have for dinner at Christmas at our house?" So for dinner, probably for about the last 29, 30 years, for dinner on Christmas Day, we have Chinese food. That's what we have, Chinese food, dinner on Christmas Day every single year for about, I don't know, the last 28, 29 years, something like that. And for breakfast, we have biscuits and gravy. Right now, I necessarily don't have that stuff, but that's what's cooked. Maybe I might just have the sausage from the biscuits and gravy, and being with my diabetes and all this year, maybe I'll just stick to the meats, or maybe I'll have a little bit of Chinese food, just a little bit, to celebrate, but definitely not the way I used to eat. All right. There you go. Great minds think alike, brother. Well, K. Paul, the thing is what is the application? So a LifePo 4 is a great battery. It has a lot longer life, more charge and discharge cycles. You're looking at 3,500, 4,000 charge discharge cycles. Outstanding battery. You can run it down to zero, all those discharge cycles, excuse me, and it's still going to be good. But a LifePo 4 battery, just like the one in this, you're not going to be able to use that efficiently at -50, -60 degrees. And an AGM battery, you can leave out at -50, -60 degrees, and it will still work. Okay. And that's not something that I read. I actually went to the shop where I purchased some AGM batteries in the past and talked to them in depth about AGM batteries and about the temperatures. So it just depends really what you're going to use it for. So that's why I said for an emergency, if you're not going to be using a battery all the time, and depending on where you live, you may want to have an AGM battery, because who knows, if you live somewhere like up here in Alaska, you may want something that's going to work in -degree temperatures and that will keep a charge, right? And LifePo batteries, as good as they are, they don't like the cold temperatures. So look at that. A lot of people have Chinese food on Christmas. Yes, nobody. I'm sticking with meat. I'm sticking with meat is what works. Although on my daughter's birthday, I did make the Dominican sancocho, which is like a Dominican stew. And I did have some of that, and it has some plantains in it, some yuca in it, and some carrots in it. So I did have some of that, and my blood sugar barely went up. It went up like 11 or 12 points, and then it came back down. So I was I also ate some rice. I ate a little bit of white rice with it, because that's how you eat it traditionally, at least where I come from, right? And my blood sugar only went up by like 11 or 12 points, and then it started coming back down. So I was very, very happy about that. Yeah, I'm gonna. Uh, uh, Catherine says A1C has been running about 5.9 for just eating meat, no carbs. That's great. That's good. That's a good A1C. Very good. And ladies and gentlemen, the thing is, I'm not even going to worry about my A1C anymore. I'm still going to go to the doctor. I'm still going to get my checkups and all that kind of stuff. But there's really nothing more that I can do. There's really nothing more that I can do as far as how I eat in order to positively affect my diabetes. It's like the last time I went and got my A1C, it had gone up by 2 points. And I told the doctor, I was like, how in the world can that be? I literally have not cheated. The very first time I cheated this year, since January 13th of this year, 2023, was on my daughter's birthday. I had a little bit of rice and I had some sancocho. And it wasn't even a lot, right? That was the first time I cheated. And I was like, there's nothing else that I can do. I'm doing all that I can do, and whatever happens, happens, right? I haven't lost any toes yet, so that's a good thing. All right, let's see. For real, am I keeping Goshen from going live? Well, you know what? I'm only about 2 minutes out, brother. Eric, I'm only about 2 minutes out. I'm sorry, man. Let's see. She-Wolf, how you doing? Happy Thursday. JT, how are you doing? Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, ladies and gentlemen. Janice in the house. Redneck Prepper, Michael Man is doing very, very well, right? He's getting bigger. His hair is long. His parents are letting his hair grow. He's just a little wild child that's free and taking advantage of it. He's doing really well. I think I'll be seeing him tomorrow. Let's see. Irving, I don't know what you're talking about as far. What's the difference between this brand and the one that Adam promotes? I'm not sure what you're talking about as far as brands. Oh, Dingus Chubb. I get it. I get it. Please, I wasn't mad. What kind of American are you is from the upcoming movie Civil War. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I wasn't mad. Actually, I already forgot about that. Come on, man. Let's see. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and call it good for now. How you doing, Dale? Good to see you. Let's call it good because I do have to get going to an appointment here pretty soon. So I have to actually, where's my keys? I got to restart my vehicle so that I can warm up. But hey, thank you very much to every one of you for joining in. Again, this was just an impromptu. For those of you that maybe joined in towards the last half, just go back towards the beginning of the video. There's a lot of stuff that I covered there that you may be interested in hearing about. Other than that, let me go ahead and call it good for now. I'm going to go ahead and leave our regular outro, our regular outro that we usually put on Fridays. For those of you that may be new to the channel or that have never been on a live stream, so if you've been here for like the last couple of weeks as a new community member, subscriber, or you've never been to a live stream, put I am new all in caps so that we can shout you out during the outro and so that everyone that's still here can welcome you into our community. Right. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend ahead. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. God bless every one of you. And let me find my outro. And God bless America. Bye-bye.